Who misses the Araco mutants? Raise your hand. I can't really see your hands. I don't know why I said that. But we do get to find out about one of the Araco mutants. And a long-standing rule in comics, what's old is new again. My name is Dorian, this is SCN Comics. We continue our coverage of NYX with number 3. So our story starts off, but I really gotta say where, kind of in the title. We have Anole, and he's walking around. If you know about Anole, you know he has all like the different powers of a lizard. And he used to be a bartender. I say used to because unfortunately what happened in the events of NYX number 1, don't worry, don't know what I'm talking about, playlist will be in the description. He got fired, and Miss Marvel is calling him to apologize because not really her fault, but ain't of her fault. But also too, she is also inviting him to join them at a memorial for a mutant that got killed by mutant hating humans. I mean, if you're an X-Men fan, you know the song and dance. It's at a Roxxon gas station, and do you see those gas prices? I mean, I'm assuming that says $13 a gallon. Good Lord have mercy. How are they doing this? Anyway, we got our team there. Miss Marvel, Sophie Cuckoo, Prodigy and his boyfriend, and Wolverine, or Kenny Wolverine. When all of a sudden, Caliban shows up. Now, last time we seen Caliban, Kitty Pryde was about to break her foot right off in his ass because he was not going to help her hunt down Professor Xavier. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, link to the Fall of X will be in the description. And he shows up with a bunch of other mutants, and they're dressed like they came straight from Krakoa. You know, we know Krakoa's not here no more. And he comes and he kisses like the memorial picture, and he goes, "What is he?" And everybody yells, "Mutant!" That brings me back to Hox and Pox, which I know, guys, I got 2 more videos and then Hox and Pox will be all finished, and then I'll do a big old deep dive and you guys can dive into Hox and Pox, which is fantastic. But yeah, that kind of brings me back to that. And Sophie is crying her butt off because the Cuckoos were definitely deep in Krakoa in the beginning. Like, they were the ones that were giving the dignitaries a tour, you know, right before Magneto let everybody know that they got new guys now. That didn't age well. So they take off, and Anole follows them because he wants to know what the hell's going on with them. And he goes down into the sewers and he says, "Holy in Krakoa." Caliban and Subuner are like waiting on him, and they're like, "Come on in, but you gotta take off your human clothes first." Now it looks like a little mini Krakoa down there, and the reason why it looks like that, you thought they was still like a Krakoan seed, but no, it's Subuner's blood. You see, he is a Mega 11 mutant from Morocco. That's all Mega 11 mutants on Morocco. And pretty much a few drops of his blood did all this. And they are calling themselves the Morlocks. Now, Caliban used to be a Morlock, so that's not a far stretch, but again, it's old, it's new again. For those of you guys who don't know about the Morlocks, they are mutants who can't really pass as looking like humans. Like Wolverine, even though he's short and some people say he stinks and he's extremely hairy, he looks like a normal human for the most part. And most of the X-Men look like normal humans, besides Beast. But the Morlocks mutations were physical, so they can't just pass as normal humans. So that's why they're in sewers. So now we cut to Miss Marvel. She's still at the memorial, and then her brother shows up and it's like, "Hey, you need to not be here," and so on and so forth. And we see the reason why he's there is because of her cousin, who really doesn't like mutants. And he's talking big dollar. Sophie Cuckoo politely, not really politely, lets him know that she is a walking lobotomy, and if he wants to mess around, he's about to find out. So they decide to leave because he might not like mutants, but he also doesn't like being in a nursing home drooling from his mouth for the rest of his life either. So Miss Marvel apologizes for him, and Sophie's like, "They're not the problem. The problem is the Truthseekers. They're not just bigots, but they're armed bigots, and they're following Anole straight to the Morlocks." So we go back to the Morlock tunnels, and they're kind of like pressing Anole. They're like, "Are you going to be a Morlock, or are you an X-Men?" And Anole just gets kind of pissed. He's like, "Why can't I just be a dude with a big arm that does this and does that and likes to make drinks and so on and so forth?" And Caliban's like, why you asking permission? And that was a profound statement. Like, people do that all the time. Why can't anybody let me do this? Why can't anybody let me be like that? And so on and so forth. Why are you asking? Like, do whatever you want to do. And if people don't like it, then it's your job to not give. Like, seriously. Like, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. You're going to get the opinion, but you don't have to care about it. But as soon as he comes to that revelation, Sophie contacts him and lets him know that, hey, you guys are about to have company. You're about to have company real soon. And on the next page, that company broke through the wall and is busting shots. And that looks bad for the Morlocks. But then Sophie, Wolverine, and Miss Marvel show up to kind of even the odds. Even the odds, yeah, right. With them there, it's overwhelmingly on the side of the mutants. Now, they're doing their thing, even though Wolverine gets shocked out of her. So Anole goes, are there any reinforcements coming? And Wolverine's like, no need. I got them all. So Wolverine's like, all right, you guys turn around. You probably don't want to see this. Miss Marvel's like, we're not going to kill him. So it's like, yeah, we shouldn't kill him because all they'll do is like come back at us. So, you know, I'll just lobotomize them. And Miss Marvel's like, we shouldn't do that either. So finally they decide to have Sophie just kind of walk him out, and then she'll lead him somewhere and then kind of erase their memory of where the location is. So then Wolverine is like, it's good to see you raising hell again, Anole. And Anole goes, once a Hellion, always a Hellion. And the Morlocks welcome in Anole into the ranks. And they're like, this is not going to be like way it was before. Like, we deserve to be seen. As they all go up to pay their respects to the young mutant that was slain. So everybody breaks off and does their own thing. But then we see Sophie go to a building. She goes up to the 89th floor where she joins her two other sisters. And if you know from the first issue, they are with Empath and Dr. Collin, who is really Hellion, calls himself Dr. Collin. That's Hellion. And whatever they're planning, it definitely involves Miss Marvel.